Hey everybody, rdbigdog here with the second video in the series of tutorials, basic tutorials to get new players up and running on this game as fast as possible so you can get right into having fun. The assumption at this point is you watched the first video, you've done your training battles and the tutorials that come with the game when you first create your account and get going. It's a good starting point. But now in this video I just want to dive deeper into the card collection. How many cards there are, the types of cards, and how to search and filter them, and a little bit about how to build up your collection in terms of how you craft cards and create the ones you're missing. So as you know already by now, you can just click on your cards and it shows you the decks that you've made, which you can edit and delete as you like. And diving into your collection itself, you come into all the cards by default. So you got the arrows on the left and the right to navigate. You could also navigate with the mouse wheel, which is kind of nice to go quickly jump through it. This has a lot of different filtering mechanisms to make it really easy to find your cards. I think there's over 500 cards in the whole collection at this point. It's really easy to filter down. You could filter by nation down in the bottom left. So if I just want to see the Britain cards or the Soviet cards, it lets me do that. I could also add a filter in by the cost of the card. So if I'm looking for a specific card range for my deck, cost-wise, I could filter down to the 3Ks, for example, and that helps to find those cards. And then just clicking them again will clear it out. Again, at the top here, you can filter by the unit type. So there's the infantry cards, you have artillery, tanks, bombers, fighters, orders, and countermeasures. And each of these cards has a specific purpose in your deck and specific mechanics behind them. And there'll be another video where we go through the different mechanics of the different cards. Okay, but for now, in terms of how the cards are organized, like I said, there's 4 tiers of cards, starting off with standard, then there's limited, then there's special and elite. And the higher you go up in those tiers, the more powerful the cards are, and also the more rare they are to get. And there's only so many of each tier you could hold in your collection. So if I wanted to filter by the standard cards, you could type keywords in this box and it'll filter on any keyword. So if it's a word on the card, it'll filter just cards that have that word on it, or the type of card. It's very, very useful search box. They've actually done a really good job with that. So as you can see here, these are all my standard cards, which are the base bottom level cards, right? And as you can see underneath, there's a little icon that shows how many there are, and it says right there you can have up to 4 copies of a standard card in your deck. When you're opening packs, you're going to get doubles and duplicates and etc. and keep getting them. And once you do get more than 4 of what you're allowed in your collection, they will automatically show up in resources up here, which I'll talk about in a second. Okay, and then with limited, you're only allowed 3 in your collection. And these start getting slightly more powerful for the most part, a little bit more rare. And then you're going to have special. In your special cards, you're only allowed 2 in your deck. Again, getting more powerful and more rare to get. And then at the end, you're allowed elite cards, which you're only allowed 1 in your deck. 1 in your collection, rather. You can have as many elites in your deck as you want, but you're only allowed 1 copy of an elite in your collection. And the only exception is with allegiance, your ally nation, you're not allowed to use those elites. I think that was a change they made prior to me starting to play the game, so I've never had that privilege, but as of right now, you cannot use elites of your ally nation in your deck. So if there is a certain elite you want to play with, that has to be your primary nation. All right. So that's right now by default it's showing the cards that I have in my collection. But if I wanted to see everything that exists, I can hit the show all button, and now it's going to show me cards that I have and that I don't have. So the white background here is showing all of the cards that I don't have. So if I wanted to look for a specific card that I wanted to try to get or remember about it for keeping an eye out for it, I could go and find it anyways, and under the show all, and I could see the white cards. Now, I talked a bit about crafting. So like I said, when you get extras of cards, you're going to get resources. So in here, when you get extras, you come in here, you can say recycle them. It gives you these resources. When you click on a card that you don't have, it gives you an option to create the card, and it tells you it costs 80 resources here because this is a special, so it costs 80 resources. If I wanted to create a common, it would cost 8 resources. If I wanted to create a limited, it costs 20. And you recycle them for the same amount they cost, so you could actually trade a card. In this case, it's a gold card. So gold cards are a rarity. When you open packs, you might get a gold copy of a card, and when you do, you can recycle it immediately and get resources for it if you want to trade it for another card. So limited cost 20 to craft, and specials, like this case here, cost 80 to craft. And elites cost, a quick filter here, elites, I don't know why the filter is broken. You're supposed to be able to double click on that and uncheck the artillery so it doesn't just show artillery. I think that's broken in latest release, but these guys cost 320 to craft an elite. So the most expensive to craft, but comes with territory. They're the most powerful cards. All right, so in general, that's how the card collection works. So you could spend your gold to buy packs or to get more cards, or you could do drafts, which we'll talk about later, as a higher value way to get cards. And once you accumulate and start getting duplicates, triplicates, and filling out the maximum amount you could have in your collection, you can use your resources to build cards. So in terms of nations, so in the nations, you can see down at the bottom, there's Germany, Britain, Soviet, USA, Japan, and then France and Italy. So when you create your decks, you're going to be using these nations to try to drive what kind of structure you're going to have in your decks, because each nation has different strengths and weaknesses. So with that, I'm going to end this video there, and we'll jump into the next video to talk a bit about the deck construction and the cards themselves. All right, we'll see you the next time. Thanks for watching. RD Big Dog. We'll see you next time.